There are no good single people left. Hi there. I'm Julie Turner, julieturner.ca, and I cannot tell you how many times I have heard that, seen that, read that, and it's simply not true. Before we get into today's content, I would love you to like, subscribe, blah, 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 you know the drill, to anything and everything that you are watching this on. I would love you to actually sign up for my newsletter as well. I would like you to go to julieturner.ca and I'd love you to look at my new website because I'm A, really proud of this new website, and B, because it's got everything. It's got everything. Anything you could ever need to know about me, you're going to find on julieturner.ca. Really, really happy with that. Anyway, there are no good singles left out there. Now, when a client says this to me, the first question I ask is, where have you been trying to date? And the answer is usually across the board, either, well, I haven't been. There's nobody out there. There's nobody out there to date. And I'll be like, okay, well, there's some online dating apps because I'm sorry, people, but you got to get on board here. I'm not saying that you're going to find the love of your life through a dating app, although there are some really good ones. You don't have to go with like the basic ones. I'm not going to use names. I'm not going to shame apps right now because they all have their purpose. And honestly, I have met amazing people through any app that I've been on. So, the first thing is I would never online date. And I'm like, okay, so what activities do you take? Do you go into? And they're like, well, I don't have time for activities. I'm working all the time. Okay, so what you're telling me is there's no good singles left at your work or in your house. Is that what I'm hearing? Because that's what I'm receiving of this conversation thus far. All right. So that's probably actually true. You probably shouldn't date somebody that is at your work. And if you're single, you probably only have your kids around. So, or maybe your roommate, and you probably shouldn't date them either. Therefore, you're going to have to branch out. So, if you are hardcore set against dating online or meeting people online, you might have to join some activities. You might actually have to buy into some stuff. Now, if that sounds like, oh my goodness, I work all the time, blah, 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 you might want to reevaluate that as well. Because how are you going to have time for a relationship if you work all the time? You can't even go and do an activity that you enjoy. All right. Now, let's talk about online dating for just a moment and maybe switch your perspective about it, if that's possible. So there are, like I said, there's a whole bunch of apps and they have a bunch of different purposes. There's no question. Some of them are better for things than others. Some of them are better at different age groups than others. But the fact is that if you enter the idea of online dating with, I am going to build a community of people that are like-minded. You're not going in there going, I'm going to look for my next true love. What you're looking for is people you can have a conversation with, people that you can connect with, people that maybe you can do something with. Be very open and transparent about that's what you're looking for, though, because there are people that are thinking they're going to find the love of their life. They're going to go on one date and that's going to be it. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Generally, that's lust of your life, but I'm just saying that you can find the love of your life without question on the first date. Not impossible. However, that should not be the energy that we're entering this with. We should be entering with, I'm going to get to meet a different human that's going to be really interesting because I don't know anything about them. So I am so excited to learn what they're looking for, where they're going in life, what's happening for them, what they're doing next weekend. And not because you think you need to join them on it, just because you're curious, just because you're curious about another human being. Now, if this sounds like a horrible way to spend an evening, I'm not really surprised that you're single. I'm just saying, does that sound a little shame? A little bit? Yeah, it was a little bit shaming. Sometimes I, sometimes I go in that direction. My point is, to get you to understand that you are not going to be able to sit on your couch and complain about not finding anybody and find them that way. It's never going to happen. The chances are absolutely zero that that will happen. However, if you go join an activity, maybe even tell your friends, hey, I'm actually looking to date. Do you know anyone? That's actually a thing. People actually know other people. And sometimes you're a little bit confused by, your friend sets you up with somebody that is so your polar opposite. It's like, do you think that I, love video games and whatever? Really trying hard not to go down that road again. Um, so sometimes your friends really don't know who you are, or they just look single person and single person. So again, online, check out the different apps if you need any support with what app might be applicable to you, because you are an individual and there are many different apps out there. And I've actually researched them. Not only have I participated in a few of them, not all of them by any means, but I have researched them to find out what's best for whom at what time. So please reach out, julieturner.ca. I would love to support you with that. Now, if you actually still believe that there is no good singles out there, please, when you go to julieturner.ca, look at my dating course. My dating course is a really, really good way to enter into coaching, for one thing, because it's a group course and it's a low price point. So you're not investing a bunch of money to go out dating. Although I think it is worth a bunch of money to go out dating, because dating could actually lead you to a fulfilling relationship if you know what you're looking for and if you know how to approach it. So that's all I've got for you today. It is completely not true that all the good singles are gone. It's not true. If that's a story you're telling yourself, you got to reach out to me. And I don't care if you reach out with questions, concerns, or cries of outrage. I do love cries of outrage. So if that's what you want to reach out with, by all means, I would love to hear from you. Now, comment, like, subscribe, share, do all of those fun things that help me smile. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time today. Hopefully that was helpful to you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.